Hi there. There's just amazing noise being made by the media about climate change, about cap and trade. And I do agree with the fact that clean energy projects should not get any, they should get support or subsidies, but they should not be eligible for emission rights, because then whenever you plant a tree to save a ton of carbon dioxide, you will have the right to emit a ton somewhere else, ton of carbon somewhere else. You might think that it's not important to think about that and not do anything, and that's fine. You're just indoctrinated by the mainstream media. Everybody around the world, almost all newspapers, have simply copied the meme that there is some kind of conspiracy going on to cook the books and skew the information on climate change. It's not true, but that doesn't matter, because everybody is saying the same thing, and you're just, if you go for that, if you don't consider that the most devious conspiracy of this time, that you have a system of indoctrination and information that pretends to be genuine but is constantly lying to, then well, I guess you're lost. It's on your head, and I'm thinking about challenging you, and I would like to know if you would go ahead with it. If we can make a contract where you say to me, if it's conclusively proven to be a fact that climate change is happening and that it's man-made, and then of course you have to define how that is done, because otherwise you cannot be convinced. In that case, you hand over all your possessions to a goal to reduce the emissions and reduce the effects, so that you in the meantime can be a climate skeptic and opposed to the whole thing. If you're convinced of that, you have to put your money where your mouth is. You have to go with that opinion and bet something on it. You're certain of the fact that it's all nonsense. Well, prove your certainty, your conviction, by donating, making sure that you will donate everything you have, or a large portion of it, to the cause of preventing climate change, when you finally are convinced that it is so. You see, and it is basically because people have certain buttons that are identified by statistical analysis that this type of control is happening in the mass media. They just do a reference group, or they do a focal group, and they say, okay, well, if Obama says I will tax the shit out of you if you support me to plant these trees, will you support him then? And then of course they say no. And if you say if Obama says I'm going to start a communistic movement to make sure that the planet is greener, are you going to support him? And of course you're not, because those are two very important buttons: communism, taxes. Of course, this will hurt the economy is another one. So are you going to support Obama's action to support the oil companies that will hurt the economy? No, you're not. Are you going to support Obama's actions to steal the profits of oil companies, and break the oil companies' communistic plot? Yes, you're going to do. That's because that's the robotic responses that most people have. And the mainstream media know that, because they have plenty of money to find out what they have to say to you in order to convince you. So wake up and start seeing that. And if you're not seeing that, okay, send me a message. We'll make a contract, and I'll be owner of your stuff in let's say 2015, when it should be clearly obvious that you were wrong. And if you're not brave enough to do such a thing, then I would suggest you just shut up.